the important things. So this is a book by David Whyte, and I've been getting, I thought of him because I found out that I've read a lot of his book and have listened to him speak. He's an English-Irish poet, philosopher, writer, but he currently lives on Whidbey Island, which is where my daughter is spending the semester for school. She's living on Whidbey Island, one of the San Juan Islands off the coast of Seattle, with 4 friends to quarantine there and do online school there at one of her friend's grandmother's house. And anyway, he lives on Whidbey Island. So I was telling Eve, like, you gotta see if you can track him down and see if he has any poetry readings, or I don't know, in the age of coronavirus, nobody's doing anything. So maybe not, but at least they're kind of in the same place. So that's inspiring. So I've been rereading this book a little bit, Consolations, the Solace, Nourishment, and Underlining Meaning of Everyday Words. And it's just little contemplations about what words mean. And this one is Gratitude that I'm going to read to you. And just one little quick thing, you know, we all have these moments where gratitude touches us more deeply than others. Even if you have a gratitude practice where you're consciously thinking about gratitude regularly. As most of you know, I hurt my back this week, which is much improved. And on Monday, when I was not feeling well in my body, I was driving, and this man was running, and he was, you know, on the sidewalk, just taking a jog. And I was stopped at a red light, and oh, to watch him move. It was such bliss to see someone, when I was not working well in my body, to see someone so free. He was so free in his body. He was moving with such grace and ease, and I could feel it. I could feel him in my own body. I was like, oh, I know that feeling, and I don't have it right now. And sometimes gratitude comes when we miss something. So, you know, sometimes you only realize you're thankful for something when it's gone. And to me, that's always the saddest thing, is that we sometimes miss the opportunity to be grateful for something while we are still deeply present with the person that we're grateful with, the experience that we're grateful with, whatever it is. And so it can be bittersweet. Gratitude can sometimes be bittersweet. Which is okay too. Sometimes bittersweet is a good thing to have as well. When something's gone, you really appreciate it. So gratitude. Gratitude is not a passive response to something we have been given. Gratitude arises from paying attention, from being awake in the presence of everything that lives within us and without us. Gratitude is not necessarily something that is shown after the event. It is the deep a priori state of attention that shows we understand and are equal to the gifted nature of life. Gratitude is the understanding that many millions of things come together and live together and mesh together and breathe together in order for us to take even one more breath of air. That the underlying gift of life and incarnation and reincarnation as a living, participating human being is a privilege, and that we are miraculously part of something rather than nothing. Even if that something is temporarily pain or despair, we inhabit a living world with real faces, real voices, laughter, the color blue, the green of the fields, the freshness of a cold wind, or the tawny hue of a winter landscape. Thankfulness finds its full measure in generosity of presence, both through participation and witness. We sit at the table as part of every other person's world while making our own world without will or effort. That is what is extraordinary and gifted. This is the essence of gratefulness, seeing to the heart of privilege. Thanksgiving happens when our sense of presence meets all other presences. Being unappreciative might mean we are simply not paying attention. So, little words by David Whyte. All right, so what are you grateful for? Close your eyes and have a moment of a gratitude practice. Are you grateful? I'm not even going to make suggestions. Just settle inside yourself and let the swirl of gratitude live within you. Be present for it, whatever's coming. Be patient and let it linger. Be present for the experience of your gratitude. Feel the connection that it brings. Breathe into this connection. Oftentimes when I sit with a gratitude meditation, it becomes a wave that has power behind it, that, or like riding your bike downhill, where there's a sense of you get grateful for one thing and feel thankful for another, and then all of a sudden it's just a stream of gratitude, one thing rolling into the next. So if you have that happen where things rapidly come into your mind, slow them down a moment so that you can linger and feel and be present for the gratitude of each thing, each person, each whatever it is. Stay present in your body. Let the gratitude live inside your body. Feel it as a living presence. Breathe your way into it. Drop weight down into the pelvis. Feel yourself ground. And then as we bring our hands together at our heart, let's keep the stream of gratitude moving through us. So in your practice, be grateful for the breath. Be grateful for the way your body moves easily. Be grateful for the places in your body that are teaching you things. Be grateful for the darkness and the lessons that they bring. So just find your way in your practice, and anything that spontaneously comes, let it move through your heart. And before we settle into moving, let's just pause to have gratitude for the practice itself. This deeply embodied state of yoga, where our mind, body, and spirit get to play and dance together, where we have teachers that have come thousands of years before us to bushwhack through the forest a bit, showing us a path, leading us to our own path. Okay, let's release the hands and come onto your back. All right, so go ahead and lie down and stretch your body. Head lengthen through your spine. Oh, it makes me want to yawn sometimes, so follow the impulses of your body. If you feel like squeezing or holding the breath or yawning, whatever feels good for you, just follow. And maybe stretch one hip lower, the other hip, reach that foot away. Just get the feeling of your side bodies to grow beyond just the shoulders, into the ribs and pelvis, maybe even all the way down to your feet. And then bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug, rocking left and right. Maybe starting some circles, moving your knees around in one direction and then the other. And right knee into the chest, left leg long on the floor. Let's move our feet around.
Try to have a little gratitude for all the places you touch in the body when you start to become aware of a new place. Send a little offering of gratitude. Look at all the things that your feet do for you in the day. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Left knee into the chest. Feel the flexion, feel the extension through your other leg. Keep moving your feet. All right, and then bring that knee back in. Pull your knees away from each other and back in. Let's have some gratitude for your hip joints. Even if they get cranky at times, notice what they do for you, the range of motion that you get to have through the day of moving, walking, squatting, all the things. I mean, fill in the blank, right? All the things that your hips and legs do for you. All right, let's put our knees down, our feet down onto the ground, arms out to the side, and just start to gently twist the body. Feel free to add some arms to roll further onto your side, just finding the full body engagement through some twisting. Let the spine warm up just a little bit, the outer hips warm up a little bit. How's your breath? All right, and then stretch out to a starfish, arms and legs wide. I'm sorry, this is making me yawn today. And then knees into your chest, pick up your head, curl in. Couple of more times. Inhale, expand outward. Exhale and draw inward. Let's try that one more time. Feel the fullness. It's a full body experience, stretching out. It's a full body experience, drawing in. All right, and then release your head down onto the ground. Roll over onto your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. All right, so let's find some cat-cows. Start moving the spine. Let's nourish the spine a little bit in these subtle movement patterns. Let's have deep gratitude for all that works well in our spine. You know, it doesn't take much, just takes, having a little bit of any kind of injury in the body or sickness in the body to make you appreciate what health feels like. So in the places that you feel healthy today, let's have some deep gratitude. Nobody's super sick. You're here in a yoga class, which means you feel pretty good, I hope. So let's just enjoy our health, the way you can breathe easily, especially with all these fires going on. Let's swirl the hips around. Let's move anything that feels good. You can do some circles, some sways. If your neck needs some support, take that. Any kind of movement that's right for you. And then stretch back towards child's pose. Take your hips back toward the heels to whatever place is comfortable. Have your arms in a place that's comfortable. Find your breath traveling all the way to the back of the body. All right, let's walk the hands over to the side of the mat. Feel the openness through the rib cage. Always you can adjust anything if your knees or your shoulders or your hips can't accommodate this depth. And then come back and stretch the other way. Feel the side body open, relax the neck. Take some deep breaths here. Weight your pelvis down, let yourself be grounded. And then come back up. Come all the way up onto all fours. Find our twist. Inhale, reach the arm to the sky. Exhale, slide that shoulder down and under. Feel the space between the shoulder blades. Enjoy that space. Breathe into it. Notice what your hips feel like. Are they walking over to the side? See if you can keep them drawing back. And then inhale, reach that arm all the way up to the sky again. Place the hand down. Change sides. Arm up. Exhale, arm through. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's reach that arm all the way back up to the sky. Place the hand down onto the ground. Curl your toes under and find your way to dog pose. Stretch through your legs. Feel free to take some time here pedaling out your feet. moving through your hips, moving through your knees. So whatever feels good, find your way. Okay. Lengthen through your side bodies as well. So it's not just the pose about the legs, but it's a pose about your full body. Root into the index fingers, feel the length. Feel the heart lift up toward the pelvis. Widen the sit bones, roll the inner thighs back. Feel the spreading of your hands and the spreading of your feet. Yield a moment into the earth. Give yourself over and rebound away. Relax your neck. How is your breath? Gratitude on the breath. What are you inviting in? What are you releasing out? Walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana. Feel free to move if you want to roll your shoulders or move your hips. Anything that feels nice. Inhale for a halfway lift. The spine grows. Exhale and melt back down. Push off your feet. Rise up, reaching the arms to the sky. Open cactus. Spread open your wings. And then exhale and round in. Tuck your chin toward your chest. Your feet might want to be wider. Let's spin some side movements here. Just warming up the body, letting freedom happen. All the ways in which we move. Let the hips move. Let the arms move. Let the feet lift. How is your breath? And then come back to center. Big shoulder rolls. You can add arms too if you want, or just keep it in your shoulders if your shoulders don't like big arm movements. And then go the other direction. Just feel that sense of full range of motion in your torso. Arms up to the sky, lean back a little bit. Big swan dive forward. Notice what it feels like to be waking up the body. Inhale to a halfway lift. Spine gets longer. Stretch into length. Thigh bones back. Shin bones stay forward. Stay here for a moment. Spread out the bones of your feet. Lift the arches all the way up into the hips. Feel the spine grow. Exhale and melt. Fold a little bit. Relax your head. And let's take a lunge. Take your right foot forward, your left foot back. Come into a full extension of that back leg. Extend through the spine. And let's start to warm up this way. So squaring the hips, straightening the legs, tucking the chin. Coming back in. Find your breath. It doesn't matter where you're breathing. Each time you touch a new sensation in the body, have gratitude for the new sensation in your body. Heck, have gratitude for sensation. We all have feeling in our bodies. Let's enjoy it. All right, come into a lunge. Feel the extension. We're going to do a little rolling twist here, so you can have your hand on a block or on the floor. Take a deep breath in, big circle with the arm. Okay. A couple times. Let it be about your chest and spine, not just about the shoulder. How's your breath? And exhale and release your hand down. Step back to a plank. Stabilize here. Start to feel your strength build. So now our awareness takes us into a different energy. Strength feels a little different than just movement or flexibility. So feel that hugging in, hug to the bones, hug to the midline. Keep your breath moving. And then we're going to come all the way down to the floor. So come safely, however you go. Stretch your legs, engage through your core. Lift pubic bone to belly button as you lift up to cobra pose. It doesn't have to be big. Exhale and melt back down. Try not to lift the shoulders up, so try not to be here in the pose where you're locked in. The elbows stay down and bent, then the shoulders are down. Exhale and release. Back again. Come back up onto all fours. Have a moment of swaying or swishing or swirling. However your spine is enjoying movement today. Breathe deeply and let's bring our left foot forward. Come into a lunge. Lift your back knee up off the ground. Hands come onto the blocks if you want them to be there. Find your breath. Square hips. Round your chin down a little bit. Feel the knee bend. So don't worry about how straight your legs go. Just go where your end point is, wherever your range of motion lives. See if you can prevent, it's okay to tuck your chin, but try not to super round your spine. We're still extending. All right, let's come into a lunge on this side. Reach your heart forward, shoulders back. Hand can be on a block or the floor. And let's find some big range of motions here. Find the breath. Notice what the back leg is doing. Try to keep the back femur bone lifting so you're not dropping it down when you come into the twist. Let's take one more. All right, and then place that hand down. Dog pose. Stretch your foot back. Lengthen through the sides of your body. Deep breaths in and away. And then walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana. Hold a little bit. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Rise up. Push off your feet. Reaching the arms upward. Just notice, are you warmed up? Do you feel connected to your full body now? We've hopefully touched into a lot of places. So let's pause for a moment and feel the yielding. Feel the soft joints, knees in particular. Notice your breath. Where does it easily go? Is it still bound at all? Can you let the diaphragm free up? We're going to stand on our right foot and bring a little balance into our practice. Left knee lifts. Arms can come wherever you want them to be. Find your breath. Stabilize on your standing leg. Yield. The knee is soft. The hip is in. Okay, and then place that foot down onto the ground. Just practicing a little bit of balance. Standing on your other leg. Put your arms anywhere that feels nice to you. How can you grow through your crown? Can you connect the upward movement of your crown to the downward movement of your foot? Is your knee unlocked to feel that connection? If you lock out your hip or your knee, we block energy flow. How is your breath? All right, and then go ahead and place that foot down onto the ground. Swing those arms up one more time. Exhale and fold down. Come on to all fours. Bring your body down. Let's stretch our right leg straight back behind us and our left arm out in front of us. Find the breath. And when you're ready, take the arm and the leg out to the side. Turn your toes toward the floor. Stabilize through the center line of the body. Deep breaths here. And then come back to the straight line. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. Feel your core. Inhale, bring it out. Stabilize through all the places. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, bring it out. Exhale, elbow and knee. Notice the wobbles. See if you can minimize. Place that hand and knee down onto the ground. And let's switch sides. So we're going to stretch our left leg straight out behind us, our right arm out in front of us. Engage through your core. Zip up pubic bone to navel. Feel the pelvic floor engage a little bit, all the muscles along your spine. When you're ready, reach out to the side. So arm goes out, leg goes out. Try not to let your hip lift. You want your toes to be facing the floor. So we're just bringing our leg out to the side. A lot of work in the outer hip to hold it here. Find the breath. And then bring it back in line. Take a deep inhale, stretch out long. Exhale, knee and elbow underneath you. Inhale, bring it out. Exhale, bring it in. One more time. And then exhale. When you're ready, place your hand and knee down onto the ground. Stretch back to child's pose for a minute. Just let your glutes stretch a bit. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and lie down on our right side. I promise we'll be getting up. Straight line with your body. Let's practice a little balance here. All right, so be on a slack line. You want to be on a long, skinny line instead of bending your knees. try to be on a precipice. So stack your shoulder over your shoulder, your rib over your rib, your hip over your hip, knee over knee, you know, the whole line through your body. Take a deep breath in and relax your side waist into the floor as you inhale. And as you exhale, lift your side waist up off the floor. Start to engage the transverse abdominis, the obliques. Inhale and relax. Exhale and lift. So creating that little tiny mouse hole under the side waist. All right, now we're gonna hold that mouse hole. So even though we have to let go a little bit on the inhale to let our diaphragm move, see what it feels like to hold steady. And we're gonna lift that leg in the air and the arm in the air. So if you're truly on a skinny little line, this is a lot of balance. Stay stable through the core of your body. Relax your neck, try not to tense where you don't have to. Deep breaths here. All right, and then go ahead and release and relax. Now, if you're truly living on a skinny line, that should be hard to balance. Okay, let's go ahead and flip over to the other side. Now we're on our left. Okay, and let's start to work with the mouse holes on our left side. Okay, so deep inhale to relax the waist into the floor. Deep exhale to lift the side waist. So this may feel, if you were in my 11 o'clock yesterday class, we worked a lot with the transverse abdominis. So see what it feels like if you have to tease out a weird breath pattern. It's sometimes counterintuitive for some of us to inhale and let the torso drop and exhale to lift it. We want to do just the opposite. So see what you can do to tease out that breath pattern where you're exhaling to engage your core. Now hold on to that core strength. Lift the leg up. The foot is pointing straight instead of up in the air. Lift the arm too. If you're on a skinny little slack line, this is actually a lot of balance. Try not to let your neck control the situation. Let the core of your body be the center of your stability. Breathe deeply. All right, and then when you're ready, let's go ahead and release that onto the ground. Roll over and come up to dog pose. Lengthen through your sides. Deep breaths in and away. Enjoy the space. Feel the gratitude again. What can you be thankful for in your mind? What's working well in your mind? Heck, just the fact that you can follow someone's voice is a really big deal. So let's just be so thankful for the way our minds are working, our bodies are working. Inhale, lift your right leg straight up in the air. Exhale, knee to nose. Engage your core. Inhale, bring that leg back. Exhale, bring your foot forward, come into a lunge. Climb up, crescent lunge when you're ready. Bring the arms up, out, down, wherever you want them to be. Feel the extension through your body. Lengthen upward. And then we're going to turn and open up to the side for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So find your posture. Feel a sense of stability. Gaze out over your fingers. Can you yield your feet into the floor? Can you feel your side waist help you to lift your spine off of your pelvis? Is there some neutrality going on? Are you meeting edges without crossing over them? All right, let's go ahead and straighten the leg for a moment. Find your breath. Come back down, Parsva Konasana. Let your elbow rest on your knee, extend the spine, and reach the arm. Open the chest a little bit if it feels comfortable to do so. Notice if your back hip pushes forward. Take the femur bone back. Feel the extension through the spine. Open up that front knee, let the elbow coax it open. Feel your feet. Can you feel those outer hips working for the posture? All right, great. Come back up, turn your feet to the long edge, shorten up your stance a little bit, and come to squat. You can bring your elbows high with your hands on your knees. You can bring your elbows inside your knees. It's a very wide squat.
Just let the inner thighs open. Feel free to sway from one side to the other. All right, and then have a little more activity. Engage through, instead of just leaning down, push through your feet. Do some door lid spinning, so toes turn out, heels turn in. Start to rise up and come into a goddess pose. Now remember, your goddess pose can be right here, super high, okay? You can come lower, wherever you want to be. Feel the stability of your hips working for the pose. Find your breath. Go ahead and come on up. Spin to the long edge of your mat again, or the short edge of your mat again, and come to dog pose. Enjoy the ease through your legs. Inner spiral, widen sit bones. Feel the breath, relax your neck. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Feel that stability through your core. When you're ready, lift your right leg up off the ground and take your foot out to the side. Feel the outer hips hold you, feel the core hold you. And then bring that foot back in, place it down, change sides. You can always put your opposite knee on the floor for a little support. As the toes turn down, lift the foot up so it's in line with the hip. And then back you go. Bend your knees, come to the floor. Find your way down. Take any back bend that feels nice in your body. Spread out your wings, arms and legs come wide, finding the breath, extending the spine. Deep breath in and away. And then go ahead and relax and melt back down. Come up onto all fours and go ahead and relax. Feel yourself find child's pose or any variation of a cat-cow. Full breaths in and out. Inhale, lift to dog pose. Again, when you're ready, the spine grows, sit bones widen. Enjoy the head relaxing down, melt a bit. What are you feeling grateful for? Feel the breath, ride on the gratitude. Let's lift the left leg up in the air, square hips. As you're ready, bring the knee to the nose, hug it. Inhale, bring that leg back. Exhale and bring your foot forward. Find the lunge. Climb up on this side. Crescent lunge. So put your arms anywhere you want. Your knee gets to bend a little or a lot. Your back knee can be on the floor or in the air. So let the practice be for you instead of you are for the practice. How are your postures serving you? Are you able to breathe? Do you feel stable? All right, and then let's turn and open up to the sides. Take your feet, come into Virabhadrasana, warrior pose. Find your breath. Lengthen through the spine, drop the shoulders down. Deep breath in and away. Feel your feet root into the earth. Remember, you can go a little higher, a little deeper. Where is your body best? Steady. Where is your breath coming in fully? What do you want to do with your arms? Can you feel the yielding of your feet, the work in the hips, the sense that the breath can give you something? All right, now let's go ahead and climb out of there for a moment. Give your thigh a moment. And then find your way into Parsva Konasana. Elbow on the knee, shoulders are away from the ears. Feel the extension through the side of you. Notice if there's a hook where your rib cage wants to round upward. Find the evenness through the two sides of your ribs. Feel your mouse holes on both sides of your body stabilizing you. Feel the work of your feet rooting, your hips engaging. Great, and then go ahead and come back. Swing that left leg back, dog pose. Walk your feet forward when you're ready. You can find Uttanasana. Melt a little bit here. Feel free to move around. Rise all the way up when you are ready. Feel your spine. Feel it grow. Feel your breath.
Yield your feet into the earth. Root down through your right foot. Let's bring our left foot up to tree pose. So don't worry if you don't go high. You might want to have your foot all the way down here. You might even want your toes on the earth. And that's great. You can also hold on to a wall or a piece of furniture. So find what you're finding. Sometimes even though, the traditional way is to have your foot high, sometimes I like to put my foot on my lower shin. It's a very different action in your hip. And for where we're going, this might be a nice way to try practicing today. But by all means, do a traditional variation of tree pose with your foot up if you prefer. All is well, so allow the knee to draw back. Feel the spine grow, the sense of stability through the sides. Soften the knee you're standing on. Try to not lock your hip or your knee. So we don't want to push the hip forward, and we don't want to lock the knee back. Where do you want your arms to grow? Where are the branches of your tree today? All right, and then unwind. Put your 2 feet on the ground, and let's have gratitude for our 2 feet. Bounce a little bit. Feel those feet touch the earth. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Even though we have aches and pains and trouble spots, look, you're standing on 2 feet. You're standing up and you have 2 legs to stand on. The simplest of gratitudes are sometimes the most profound. If you lost this, it would be huge. All right, so let's root our way into our left foot. Turn your right foot. You can come into a traditional tree pose with your foot pretty high up on your thigh, or you can find the variation where your foot's a little lower on your leg. Whatever you're doing, try not to stick your hip out. See if you can engage the hip in, be really stable on your standing leg. And stability does not mean locking the knee out. Stability means softening and yielding and lengthening while breathing. And sometimes stability means wobbleness. It doesn't have to be your stability does not have to be still. It just means you keep finding your way. Now open up that knee, find your breath. See what kind of branches you want in your tree. And you can take a little time doing both variations with your foot, so you don't have to stay put in one spot. Find the breath. Enjoy balance. All right, now let's go ahead and release our foot down onto the ground. Okay, find your breath. Inhale, arms up to the sky and a big swan dive forward. Fold, melt, and breathe. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and release back down. Let's go ahead and step our left foot back, our right foot's forward, coming into a lunge. Extend through the spine. Let's take the hand on the inside edge, both hands on the inside edge of your foot. Feel free to put your back knee on the ground. This might help you feel stable and just have a little bit of range of motion here. So allow maybe your knee to drop out and your knee to come back in. When you do this without your back knee on the floor, you risk a little bit more destabilizing of your pelvis, your SI joints. So I like to keep my knee on the ground when I do this. And then lift your knee up off the ground and find the length of your spine. Okay. All right. Come back, walk your back foot forward, come to a squat. All right, so your feet are wide, elbows inside your knees. You can even have your feet wider than your mat if you want. Feel the work. So hug into the elbows, feel your feet spread and the bones push down into the earth. Find your breath. Allow your sit bones to stick back behind you and widen. All right, and place the hands down, lift the hips, heel toe your feet in. Step back with your right leg, the left leg is forward in a lunge. Find your breath. Let's take the hand on the inside edge of your foot. So 2 hands on the inside edge of your left knee. and then place your back knee onto the floor. And just allow, see what's here. What kind of range of motion is in your hip today? Can you allow the knee to fall away? What happens in the rest of your body? Do you tend to, like lean or tilt or do weird things? See if you can stay somewhat stable as you just allow this knee to come out and back in. And then root the foot. Lift the back knee up off the ground. Extend into runner's lunge. Stretch open the spine. And we're going to take this foot all the way back to dog pose. So lengthen your two sides. Feel the fullness of this posture. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, right leg lifting. Exhale and bring that foot forward. Rise up to a crescent. Maybe your arms come up, maybe they don't. We're going to turn and open up. We're going to find our way from Virabhadrasana into Ardha Chandrasana. I'm going to move forward of my table here so I don't hit. So out of Virabhadrasana 2, okay, we're going to bring our hand onto our block. Make sure your foot does not move, so keep the foot pointing straight. We're going to bend our knee, hop up. You can always use a block. You can always have a wall available to you if you need support, and find your way into Ardha Chandrasana. Inhale and lift that arm in the air. Be mindful of this leg you're standing on. Don't push the knee back. Have a sense of softness. Remember the pose on our slack line that we did earlier. Feel the side waist. Feel the outer hip lift. Feel the length of your spine, crown to tail to heel. Deep breaths. And then as you're ready to come out, a slow descent back into Warrior 2. And then find your way up and out of the pose. Come to the front edge of your mat. Just pause here for a moment. Enjoy your feet. Enjoy the stance of two legs. And when we're ready, we're going to take our left foot forward and our right foot back. Now notice the difference when you come into a crescent lunge when you're already upright. Maybe your arms want to come up, maybe they don't. We're going to turn and open up to the side. When you open up to the side for Virabhadrasana 2, you know where we're going. So if you need a wall or if you need to adjust where you are in space, go ahead and do that. Find your breath. And we're going to grab onto the block. You can even try a little triangle pose if you want. I always like to bring my back foot in so that I have a real deep grounding through my front foot. Make sure your foot does not turn. Go ahead and come on up. I'm going to use my couch because that's where I need something to be. Open up your chest, okay? Reaching the arm in the air. Your hand can stay on your hip. You do not have to turn your head to the sky. You can turn your head to the sky. Try not to let the leg in the air fall. Lift it. Let the outer hips do the work. Point your toes straight in front of you. Flex your foot. Stretch your heel. Soften the knee you're standing on. See if you can engage your side waist. Move your tailbone toward the back heel. Find your breath. It's a tricky pose. It's a hard balance pose. So even if you're falling and feeling wobbly, that's okay. Just be in the process. Big giant step back to come out of the pose. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat and pause. 2 feet on the ground. Yielding. Deep breath in. Deep breath away. Okay, the last of the balance poses. We're going to stretch our hips a little bit while we balance. Lots of work in the hips. So root the right foot deep into the earth. We're going to figure 4. So take your foot and put it on top of, right on the top of your knee at the bottom of your thigh and start to squat like a chair pose. And lift your heart. Stick your sit bones wide and back. Come into as deep or not deep of a pose as this pose tells you to go. And you can lean forward if you want. Try not to risk rounding the back. Still have a neutral curve in the lumbar spine if you're going lower. Stretch through your foot in the air, big toe and inner heel. Sit bones are widening. The standing leg femur bones drawing back into the hip. Spine's growing. The breath is here. Go ahead and unwind the posture, 2 feet on the ground, pause. Yay for 2 feet on the ground. Let's yield, sink your feet in. And then as you're ready, drop weight into your left leg. We're going to lift up your right foot. Now you can always have balance close by. So if you need a wall, you can also put your back or your buttocks against something so that you can balance with a little support. This is a great way of finding the pose if your balance is a little wonky. We all have better, usually, we all have better balance on one side than the other. So, try not to shy away from your less capable of side in your body. Give to your less capable side. Open it up for, offer yourself to that part of you. Breathe deeply, sit bones widen, draw that femur bone back, feel the roots of your feet, both of them, even the one in the air. Maybe your arms want to come like chair pose, maybe your arms want to come out, maybe you want to dive a little deeper. Be very mindful to not round the spine to do this. Stay in the neutral lumbar curve. Deep breath in, deep breath away. Unwind. Last time, feeling the earth after balancing. What does it feel like to give yourself over? Deep breath. Rise up with your arms. Exhale and fold forward. Round the back a bit. And let's go ahead and find our way all the way to the ground. Come to lie down on your back. You get to choose whether you're going to do this actively or passively. So bridge pose is a great pose after some asymmetrical balancing postures. Just sets the sacrum well, kind of stabilizes the pelvis. So before we do it, let's just put our hands low on our belly. Befriend your low belly. Okay. And know that you have a lot of strength, both muscular strength and intuitive strength here. One of the book I'm reading right now is talking about semantics of different cultures and how, we live in our culture up in our head so much. So we say things like, she's got a good head on her shoulders when, she's got the smarts, right? Of, intuitively moving through the world. And in Japan, they say she has a deep belly. So it's these little things that are so different in our culture, and we often don't give respect to the intuitive knowing that is in our core. So let's just keep our hands here for a moment. Allow your breath to come into the low belly. Feel your intuition, your deep intelligence that lives in your second brain, down in your belly. And then as we start to move into bridge pose, feel your physical strength that lives in your core. Zip up your zipper from pubic bone to navel. Feel the hug toward the midline. Hip bones kind of hugging toward the midline. Activate some muscles in there. And then inhale to lift the pelvis up. Go as high as you want. Feel free to open the shoulders. You can come into a real full pose. Feel free to not go very high. So where are you? Can you feel that your belly and your pelvis are stable? That your breath is symmetrical, moving down your belly? That your hips are parallel to each other? That there's even effort in your glutes? Feel your feet. And then let's go ahead and come back down onto the ground. Let's windshield wiper your knees. Just letting your spine rest. All right, so we have a choice of either reverse pigeon pose, or cross thigh over thigh on your back and draw your knees to your chest. So something to stretch your hips, whatever is your favorite, okay? So you can do thigh over thigh like this, or just crossing and then bringing your knees toward your chest. You can put your right foot on your left knee and come into reverse pigeon pose, or you can roll over and come into full pigeon pose. So you decide where your body is comfortable, what kind of props you need. If you're in pigeon pose, you might need something underneath your hip to stabilize you. Find the breath. No matter what you're doing, find the breathing body. Deep gratitude. Let it flow through you. Go ahead and relax. If you're ready for the second side, let's do the second side. And never feel rushed. So if there's ever a pose that you're like, oh, I'm not ready to go, then this is another one of the joys of practicing by yourself with me just talking in your ear, okay, is that you get to ignore me. And nobody's going to look at you funny like in the class, like, why is she doing that when everybody's doing that? So follow your bliss in your body. Follow your breath. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. All right, let's go ahead and relax our hips for a moment. Okay. If you are in pigeon pose, just sit up. If you're on your back, roll over. We're going to come into a seated twist. So you can sit on the edge of a blanket for this if you want. Move your legs off to the right, okay? And we're gonna twist to the left. Inhale, reach your arm up, bring it to the outside of the knee, and find that, what I love about this twist in my body, what I feel differently than some other twists, is my side waist gets stretched. It's not just my spine. All right, and then come back to center. And let's scoot our feet over to the other side. I have the top of my top foot resting in the arch of my bottom foot. Knees are in line with my hips. Hand behind you to kickstand and support. Lift that arm up, bring the hand to the outside of the knee. Try not to push the low back forward. Neutralize a little bit, drop that hip down. Find your breath. Go ahead and come back to center. Come back onto your back. All right, so lie down. Bring your knees to your chest. Maybe some circling. Perhaps you want to come into happy baby pose and hold your feet and rock a little bit. Maybe you want something different. Okay? Just take a moment before Shavasana, whatever your body is needing, so that you can rest with ease. Allow yourself to melt into the floor. So as you find Shavasana, what do you need? Do you need any props to support your legs? Do you need anything under your head? Are your limbs happier away from the midline or closer to the midline? Are you touching things that you want to push away from you? Allow yourself to deeply melt. Sometimes it takes a little time to let the body respond to your inquiry of melting. Deep gratitude for the breath, the ease of breathing. Deep gratitude for the support of the earth below you. Feel yourself give over to it.
Let's begin to deepen our breathing. Once again, having some deep gratitude for the ease of breath. Deep gratitude for the ease of your body, the ways it moves perfectly well, taking you through your day, supporting you. Deep gratitude for all the people in your life who support you. Deep gratitude for something very specific. What is it for you right now? A little nugget that you want to just deeply, deeply hold. All right, let's find some movement, Stretch your body, move your body. And eventually we're going to find our way onto our side and use your arms. Help yourself up with your arms so you're not straining your back. And once you come to sit, bring your palms together and offer your gratitude outward one more time. Share with someone you're deeply grateful for, past, present, or future. Just hold this person. Send your energy, send your love. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.